Good morning, BookTube. This is Johnny. It is January the 27th. It is 12 o'clock noon here in West Michigan. A moment ago, I was in my main study and I was going to get ready my diary for February 2018. And I thought I would show you my BookTuber subscribers who are new how I prepare my diary for each month of a new year. This morning I'm on page 68 of my 2018 diary. It is, like I said, the 27th of January. This is the last Saturday. Next Saturday will be in the month of February. So what I do is I get my folders, like I have said in previous videos. Usually when I come to the middle of the month, which is the 15th, I go to my second folder. Usually I don't want to cram each folder, so I kind of divide them up. And then I get out you get this from an office supply store. This is February, so then I rip it out. See, and then I cut the edges off so it'll fit in my folder. So I cut that off. I've been doing this for many years. So then I have the edges. And then I get this, make sure it's right up, and then I write February February 2018. So I do that, and then I get this, and then I put it in here in the folder, and then I close it with the prongs. And then it's in there. See, then it's like that. So throughout the month of February, like I have a dentist appointment on February the 8th. I have to be at the Book Nook on the 14th to cover for somebody from 3 to 5. And now I got to be at the Book Nook on Mondays from 10 to 1. So I got to start remembering to do that. So, and then I have these pockets. In these pockets I put in receipts, emails, maybe I'll copy stuff off the internet, like off our printer, and put them in there. I put different things in there. So yeah, and then I went to the other day when we were out doing errands. I stopped and got paper from Staples. I used white rule paper, and so I got fresh paper. They had a sale, $1 for 120 sheets, and I use these pens, Opflow. I have a whole drawer of these. I just love these pens. So that's what I do, and I have plenty of paper. I got pens, and I am all ready to do my February 2018 diary. I've been writing in a diary since about 1968, but as I've mentioned in my previous videos, I didn't really start writing every single day until around 1977, 76. And then, as I've mentioned, when I left California back in around 1977, 78, to go to Bible college in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I burned all my diaries, which I regret. And then when I came to Grand Rapids to finish college, I had college credits. I had gone to college before, but not finished. So I went to Reformed Bible College, I think, for 2 years. And that's where I met Carol, and we got married, and you've heard that story. And then I have been writing every day since. I have at least 39, 40 years of diaries that are all in the lower level. And I've been keeping them in folders. As I've mentioned, in the earlier days of my diary keeping, I used college rule, which is smaller. It's not wide rule, it's college rules. So usually they're just one folder. And sometimes I didn't write every single day back in those the late 70s or early 70s. And of course, I burned those diaries from my high school and early 20s. But hey, I've been writing every day since. And yesterday, our oldest son, not yesterday, it was Thursday, he celebrated his 37th birthday. Our oldest son is 37, so I have the chronicles of his life, his married life. Now he's having children. His wife is due to have a child any day. Cora Lee will come into the world. And so, yeah, it's all getting written down, taking photos. It's like I look at life from birth to death. I look at history from Genesis to Revelations. I'm always traveling through history. Old Testament history, New Testament history, the life of Jesus, the life of the Apostle Paul, the Desert Fathers, the Syrian Desert Fathers, the Egyptian Desert Fathers, monasticism, the early church fathers, Saint Benedict, Saint Augustine, Saint Thomas Aquinas, the Middle Ages, and then I look at ancient history and Greek and Rome and China and Asia, Eastern Orthodoxy, and then we get into the time of the Carthusians, the Carthusian contemplative order, and Saint John of the Cross, and Spanish mysticism, and Saint Teresa of Avila, and then we get into the 17th century English Puritans, and John Owen, John Goodwin, Richard Baxter, Thomas Matten, William Perkins, and then we get into the great evangelicalism, the great revival, the great awakening, Jonathan Edwards. In the 17th century, 18th century, you have the Scottish divines, Thomas Boston, Ebenezer Erskine, and it just goes on and on and on. Now we're in the 21st century, and I'm reading for devotions these 21st century scholars, Bible scholars. From heaven he came, and he sought her, definitive atonement, historical, biblical, theological, and pastoral perspective, edited by David Gibson and Jonathan Gibson. There are different men who have contributed essays on different aspects of the death of Christ, the atonement, the definitive atonement. Like I've heard Sinclair Ferguson, Donald MacLeod, John Piper, Carl Trueman, Paul Helm, Thomas Schneider. These are the men I have books by in our library. So I'm always in time looking at the plan of God, the plan of redemption, the work of God in divine providence, and in my life, my birth, my childhood, my adolescence, my teenage years, I've gone through my 20s, my 30s, my 40s, my 50s, and now I'm going through my 60s, and just recording it all down in diary. And also I write, as I mentioned, I have online diaries. I started in March 2001 in Crooked Fingers Life Journal, And now I'm doing BookTube, the diary, the book, a video diary of, and BookTube of a Christian bookworm. So I will go, I'm not sure what I'll read this afternoon. I put all those books I showed you guys down in the lower level last night, except for the ones dealing with the presidential Kennedy administration. I should get back into reading books that I was reading last week, but I'm still kind of out of it. So I'm not sure what I'll read today. But hey, yeah, life is going by. Our lives are going by. We're speeding by. So, I hope you're having a good weekend. Excuse me. And I'll drink my coffee, write in my diary, read about the death of Christ. That's one thing you can always tell about a good church. When you're looking for a church to go to on a Sunday, do they preach Christ crucified, risen, exalted, and reigning in heaven? Sometimes you can go to a church and there's lots of music and there's lots of activity and there's all kinds of giving you kind of Christian counseling, and maybe they're giving you a social gospel or talking about all kinds of things, but are they lifting up the cross of Christ? Are they glorying in the death of Christ? That he died to save sinners. That's what's really important. That's why he came into this world. He came to die for his people, to bring in his people into the eternal kingdom of glory. So I'll sign off, hoping you're having a good day. Until next time, bye.